All right, guys, here we are. Third stop, Harris Chain of Lakes here in Leesburg, Florida. Getting ready to go, and got a big delay today. The weather's blowed in here, and, you know, it hadn't been real bad up until now. It's getting bad. I mean, it's wind's picked up and rain's picked up, but I think we got some pretty bad storms coming pretty quick.
Yeah, this is, when you come to the Sunshine State, this is definitely not what you normally think of. We have not seen any sunshine today. The wind's coming in, and I think it was probably a safe call. It was definitely the safest call to do this week. I mean, with the weather that we've got coming in today, 20 to 40 mile an hour winds.
You're gusting to 60.
And with lightning, I don't think people would have made it back today.
No, I mean, we were talking about earlier, the way it's blowing in this direction. As soon as you come out of some of these canals, Dead River, even over Griffin, it would have been really bad. So it's really picked up, and I think we made the right calls. Going through some of those narrow canals, trees could fall.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. You got to worry about that stuff. And also weighing in. Think about the tents and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Brandon Cobb was really worried about those tents blowing over. I said, Cobb, we don't need to stand under the tents. He was like, but what about them tents?
Yeah, if I was as light as Cobb, I'd worry too that I might get took off. Like never
Yeah, he turned sideways. You might just get out of here.
Yeah.
But especially with the lightning, the locks, that's what John Cox and Cobb were telling me too, that the lock operators would not use the locks. I don't know if this is true or not. I didn't talk to lock people, but they won't use the locks if it's lightning. So a lot of people would not make it away today, and that would just all around would not be good or safe.
That would change the outcome of the whole year.
100%.
Yeah.
So what's it going to do for the fishing? Come on, buddy.
You know, I don't know. This is not the same chain it was when I was here last time. I mean, I think the lakes have changed. I think it's going to have to be a more of a diversity. I think you're going to have to use a little bit of every lake, or not every lake, but you're going to have to use multiple lakes in order to make a run at this thing.
I agree with that.
Where I sit still, you know, I sit within a small area. I caught fish in different places every day, but it's a lot closer. Where now I think we're going to have to make some runs.
How much have you seen the lake change from 2 years ago, you think?
Dude, when I first started coming here, right straight behind us, you know, it was grass from here all the way to Little Harris pretty much.
Was it really?
It was really a lot of grass, and that hydrilla created the lake that we've been fishing for the last few years. And I think
agree with that.
With a lack of hydrilla, you know, the bait fish are having to, you know, they're having to find new adapts, you know, places to adapt, and it's going to docks and Kissimmee grass, and I miss the hydrilla, I'm just going to tell you. But, I mean, offshore, finding those secret little spots was a lot harder to do than it is now. I mean, we have less water that is actually productive, I guess.
I agree with that. I think the hydrilla did kind of cover a lot of that stuff up. You would find the only ways to find the fish back then, you can see it's rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
But so you don't even want to have your rods sticking up in there. But like that hydrilla would cover up those sweet spots and stuff, and so you'd have to fish forever. And if you got lucky fishing, you could catch them. But now, with tournament pressure and stuff, now that I think those fish get pressured so quickly now because they're in the wide open, that those fisheries, it completely changes the dynamic, like you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, y'all are really good live scoping, and live scoping was a lot harder in the grass. I mean, you
100%.
could still see them and chase them and make cast at them, but you're only seeing a quarter of what's there or less.
I agree with that.
So you know, I am trying to play with it a little bit, but it's a lot different.
I think one of the biggest things is the water clarity. I mean, the water clarity in all these lakes, you know, not having that grass, it really, really hurt that water clarity. Everybody knows Florida fish like that clean water too.
Yes,
they do like that clean water. I think the wind this has been the windiest year I've remembered of in a long time. Since, I mean, we've been at Texas from Toledo to Lake Fork. Even the Classic was windy. You probably know a little bit more about that.
A little bumpy.
Me and Buddy did not make it to day 3. But that was super.
I didn't make it to day 1.
But it's just windy, and I don't think with that lack of grass, offshore grass, that the clarity changes every day.
Yep.
And so that's why, like you said, I think you're going to have to use multiple different lakes every single day, because if, like today we got south, and then tomorrow we might have north, northeast. It's changing that much.
You know, like we're talking about going back to the banks, that Kissimmee grass is doing its filtering job, so that makes the water up on these banks a little cleaner, and that's what's drawing the fish there. Not just the cover, but the cleaner waters there. They're able to get up there and get in that shad spawn deal that's going on a little bit now. And
so we need to be fishing offshore is what's Buddy's saying.
Everybody.
From what I'm picking up, we need to be fishing offshore.
It's not easy. I mean, it's changed this system so much. It's like coming here and relearning. I mean, it's not like it was.
That's what's good too, I think, about these fisheries, especially we're coming at a different time. We're here in April. We're usually here in February, March. Different time. The grass is different, everything. So you do have to completely relearn this fishery.
100%.
So the couple places that does still have grass, I'm sure we've all found the same places. How many boats are going to be in those areas?
I'd say, you know, the only good thing is a Popka's there, and a lot of people know how good it's fishing. So depends on how many try to fool with the locks. But if not, we're going to have a lot of boats in one little area, and I don't think it's going to last. That's why I'm telling you, it's going to take all these lakes to make something happen. I don't think you can get 3 or 4 days out of one little bitty area like we used to do. I think you're going to have to move around and be diversified in order to make a run at this thing.
I agree with that.
Yep.
I like it.
weather change, it is.
You know, I would like to fish today. I mean, other than the safety part of it, but the wind and stuff I think it would help centrally locate some of these fish and put them in some groups. But this weather is going to change a lot because we're going to get good days of fishing after today. I mean, the wind's going to be, controllable. I'm not controlled, but we're going to be able to fish where we want to the rest of the week, where today would have made it a little more difficult for guys to get where they wanted to go, and I would have really enjoyed that.
Well, I think the weights would have been lower as a total per cut and the winning weight if we'd have fished today. But I think today would have been the best day to differentiate yourself, to be able to kind of stand out, because if you can go catch 10, 12 pounds, that does not sound like much, but that is a good bag here right now. Yeah. I mean, it's typical Florida. I mean, sometimes it used to be if you caught 9 pounds in Florida, you scared to check, but it's like at 10 pounds this week is, I think you definitely would have got paid if you caught that today.
We've been here on something that we've never seen. I mean, that solar eclipse that we had the other day, that has a lot of effect with moon phases and the gravity pulls of all these fish, and we don't know what that really did to the fishery. So it could be getting better every day because of this too.
Yeah, can't get no worse.
No. Yeah, it cannot get any worse. But I talked to John Cox this morning. He was thinking it was going to get good. So, I mean, there's chance that, and I told him this too, because we were complaining about the cut, like what the weights were going to be of, like, can we catch this? Where do we go find the fish? And I told him, I said, it would not surprise me if it took 2+ pounds more than what we think it is, just because it's the elites. These guys are fishing better than we've ever seen. The cut weights are so high every time, and they're the best anglers in the world right now. They're going to find the fish. And all of a sudden, if it just pops off just a little bit, it would scare us.
And these guys are so fast at finding it. I mean, once one of our guys does it, it seems like everybody else gets the memo, and I miss it a lot of times. But these weights, with everybody complaining, like they're saying 10, 11 pounds is going to make the cut. But they'll surprise you. You better not be fishing for 10, 11 pounds. You better be fishing for 15, because it could change in a heartbeat.
I'm fishing for a limit. I don't know about y'all. Just give me a limit.
He said his limit was only going to be about 20 pounds. I was like, God, I said, I try to get 20 pounds in 3 days.
There's one of the guys I talked to said, I just caught 2 fish today, but it was 8 and a 7. I was like, I'll be happy.
I'll be done. I don't need a limit.
That's right. 2 fish all day.
2 fish.
Yeah.
That's right, too.
And that's the thing. Them big fish are still in here. Yeah, we're complaining about it being tough and all that, but those big ones still live in here. And they decide to start biting, it could get.
That's why I think it could be a light switch. I mean, I think it's just been off for a couple of days. It will surprise us. Like you said, it could have been the lunar eclipse. Who knows what it was, but.
What really blows my mind is because I'm really trying to dig into this forward-facing sonar. You guys have got so far ahead of me, and so I've been really digging into it. And how many fish are in this lake that are not bass blows my mind.
It is mind-boggling because every lake.
Did you have a stroke?
I almost did. That's what this weather makes you like lock up. But it's crazy how many fish are in all these fisheries, and every spot you go to's got fish. Yep. So it used to be, they're not biting or whatnot. But if there's fish there, every single one of them, there's just fish everywhere.
As far as carp and gar and tilapia, all these fish that I'm seeing on my screen, and I'm like,
those aren't tilapia. Those are all bass.
Yeah, right.
Go back and scope them. Hey, every bed you've seen, big bass. You just can't.
Yeah, I've been down that
big old white beds. Yeah, fish them all day.
If it's super clean and about tire sized, it's a big bass
with a 5 pound something in it. It's bass, right?
5 pound bass.
And them eyeballs look like silver dollar bugs out there.
You found the winning school, buddy.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate that help.
No worries. You might want to go back and check that area again.
Guys, this is terrible. This is like tag teaming buddy. I need somebody that don't scope up there with me.
Oh gosh. But I don't think the scope's gonna play. I don't think it's gonna play as much. I know for a fact it will not play as much as the first two.
Oh, I agree.
Nowhere near it. No. Maybe half as much. Not even that much.
I think you're right. But look, we're sitting right here by a new classic champion.
The classic champ. Did you?
Can you believe this?
You scoped?
Oh, that was me. I was looking around.
I kind of want some tips. That's why I signed up for this show. I'm hoping we get some great tips out of this deal.
Oh yeah, I just gave you one about the tilapia. What else you need?
You gotta go back and check them beds.
Oh man,
how's it been? Have you had any sleep yet?
Yeah, this week. And then you woke me up this morning for some reason. This has been the best sleep I've had since the Classic. No doubt about it.
I had to wake him up at 8:30 every morning. I'm like, are we going to go fishing or not? You got me blocked in.
Well, dude, can you imagine the highs on? I mean,
I could only imagine.
That's the every man's dream. It fishes for a living, or fishes for fun in a pond. I mean, that's how many. When I was a kid, I was thinking, well, I'm gonna be a classic champion. Dude, we're sitting by one now.
It's pretty crazy just to think about. It still don't seem real.
Does it give you chills?
It really does.
It gives me chills.
It gets me fired up. Like, I'm ready to go.
He's got the trophy in the house we're staying at. And every time I walk in there, I'm just like, man. He's like, you can touch it. I was like, I'm not touching that thing.
Not till you get to hold it on
100%.
That's cool. I like that idea. But that is cool for you to have one, though. Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
What
What is that noise y'all keep hearing?
Oh, that's
that
that
thunder.
front coming.
It's getting
It's getting
down,
closer.
so-
That's why I do think this weather's going to change it. I mean, thunderstorms, they don't like it. But typically that's in the middle of the night. The shallow fish don't like that light in the
So I do have one question. Like, with the rain that we're about to get, is that going to affect muddying this place up, or is it more of just the wind?
I think it's just the wind more than the rain. I mean, I think, Florida, we see so much muddy water early in the year when we're in those lakes that don't have a lot of green. Grass is not green. All the stuff on the shoreline is
I think
not
it's a lot
green,
of
but
run-ins, too.
We got so much filtration here, though. I think it filters it a lot quicker, I think.
I think so, too. And everything, it's kind of running off asphalt, kind of running off roads and canals and stuff. So I really don't think it would.
Instead of red dirt, too, they got
Red
a lot
dirt,
of
that's
sand.
what I'm saying. They don't have that
Right.
much clay.
But the wind will stir it up. I mean, even when I got here and I seen how bad the water looked in the two big lakes, I mean, it was kind of, it looked like
Yeah.
somebody's coffee creamer in the middle of their cup. I mean, it's pretty nasty.
That'd be some nasty creamer.
And I think a lot of it's some kind of bloom. I mean, I don't know if y'all see the little green
I
stuff
told him
in
this
there.
morning. We went to Yale this morning for a little bit, and I said, dude, there's something blooming in this
Yeah.
water. Because you
There
could see it. I thought it was pollen sinking is what I thought it was, which is terrible. I have personal experience with pollen sinking one time. That's not a good situation. But I don't know if it was that or if it was an algae bloom.
I think I have seen an algae bloom in it. And again, with the lack of grass to filter,
Yep.
it makes those blooms a little bit worse, I think.
I think so, too.
I'm not a chemist or a biologist, but I do know.
I say we're about to be mixing stuff up. Let's go get the beakers. Anybody to make us some concoction.
Oh, dude, I just want to fish some hydrilla somewhere.
I was telling him that the other day. I said, remember the days you bombed that old chatterbait out there, and it was just like you throw into a wad of them. Like you knew when you pulled up, you were about to crack them.
Yes.
Yeah.
You line that cast up right, put her on spot lock, and just keep going.
Yeah, I'm ready.
You
for
ain't
that
never
again.
done that, have you?
No, it's been.
What's the most fish you've ever caught on one hard spot
Oh my gosh.
without moving, like in a day?
A bunch. I mean, like a bunch. Dude, that little old deal I got on here last year was one of the craziest deals I ever seen in my life.
Really?
But, with no grass around it. And I was leaving one shell bed to go to another shell bed and just run into one I didn't know was there. I mean, that's how that happened.
Really?
I kept seeing them on my 360. I just going down through there. I was like, hey, it looks like a bass. It looks like a bass. I was like, it looks like a bass. And I finally threw out there, and I had one jolt on a swim bait. Turned around, stopped, put the power poles down, made another cast out there, and while it was sinking, I caught one. And then, but what happened was it transitioned. I started throwing the Carolina rig when they quit biting. I just kind of mixed up. I throw a Carolina rig, throw a moving bait, throw Carolina, and it just mixed it up, and I kept catching them. Like I caught them a lot that day. But that was one of the best ones I've ever had on this chain.
That gets me fired up. That's off the chain.
Yeah, and I got here in
I've been
practice.
waiting on that
I
one.
got here in practice, and I can't catch one.
Oh, gosh.
Off the chain.
Off the chain. It's been on the chain, though. It's not been
It ain't
off
been off
yet.
the chain yet.
I've been off the rails.
Oh, God. The train is currently not on the tracks.
So who's gonna catch them?
I think it's going to surprise us. I think it's going to be a mixture of where half the shallow guys will catch them, half the deep guys will catch them. I don't think it's going to be like nothing but all deep guys and nothing but all shallow. I think we'll see a mix because, like you said, every lake's going to play, and you have to do something different. So it's really who's going to adjust this week, who's going to catch them.
I agree.
Because if you, like you said, you do the same thing twice, I don't think it works.
I don't think they're going to replenish either. I think it's going to be that kind of deal where you have to move. Mm-hmm. And like you said, these lakes, if the one lake that has a lot of grass gets a lot of pressure, it's a lot of fish moved around.
It's
a
been
lot
getting
of
pressure.
fish. That's what I'm saying. If we get one full day out of there, you're going to be lucky. I think
so.
you're going to have to move around. And I think it's anywhere we go. I don't think it's just that one lake. I think anywhere you go is just not going to stand the pressure.
Yep.
These lakes have been getting fished a lot before we got here. Not by big tournaments, but
But there has been some big tournaments here. There's been a Toyota, been a Fisherman Championship, and something else.
I think
wasn't it?
there was some kind of little fisherman or something by the outside tournament. They had a pretty big, the weights jumped up, but you can't see it now that we've come back right after them either.
I think that was a moon or spawn. Something they cracked them good looking at those weights, and that's all these fishers said. Like, but they've been off since we've been here, so it could happen any day that those fish we show up to your first spot and it's like, man, these fish are biting.
Where
and
did
if they're
they
biting,
come
you
from?
better do not leave them.
And
biting.
contrary to belief, I'm telling you, when I practiced here last year, guys, I really was struggling to catch a fish.
I
And
know.
I stopped on my first stop, and we talked about it.
You
Last year.
talked about it. You were crying the blues. I had to give you 3 pep talks.
Yes,
I was like, buddy, stay on the road. Do not drive off that bridge.
I stopped at my first stop, and I was going to catch me a couple of keepers, and I was going to go to one of the grass lakes and just try to catch me 2 big ones, and that was my game plan. I stopped, and all of a sudden they turned into 4-pounders. I mean, that was like a dream come true.
It is. That's how you want it to.
But the second day, I go there and don't get a bite. That's how it was.
Really?
Different place every day, and I think that's what it's going to take care of this time.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree.
So how many big fish did y'all catch during practice? Any big fish? What's your biggest fish?
I caught a 3.5 pounder.
4 pounds, my biggest one.
I caught one big one. I'm not going to lie to you, but it was so random.
How big was it?
7-ish plus. maybe.
7-ish, 8, 9.
It wasn't 9, but it was a
Did you put it on the ski? You put it on the
mouth that
scale?
big around. No, I stowed it back before anybody seen it.
He was like,
I thought it was a tilapia. It had the big eyeballs.
oh
No.
my God. He said, I'm about to get dinner. It just smokes it. It did have some bug eyes, I bet. That's a good one.
It was a nice fish.
Yeah, I've heard some people catching some big fish this week, but it's been, like you said, random.
I caught some poor fish, though. I mean, some fish that should have been heavier weight, and they're just, skinny.
Yeah.
But that's 100% post-spawn.
I think that's what it is. 100%.
But post-spawn was what I was really looking forward to here, but it's not got the fish grouped up like I was expecting.
It's a different kind of post spawn.
It is a lot different post-spawn.
I think they're freshly post somewhat where they're not even set up yet. It's like they were kind of in that limbo phase.
Just my luck.
It's all our luck. No, none of us. I wish I was like, man, I got something figured out. Like it's, who knows what you're going to do tomorrow?
Hey,
I don't even know where I'm starting.
When I'm flipping Kissimmee grass, it's bad. Just so you know.
Yeah, Buddy's got a flipping stick in his hand. We're in trouble. It's a 7.3, extra heavy.
Me and Patrick were talking. We still haven't figured out what lake we're going to yet.
We really hadn't. I mean, it's.
But I also think it's going to be one of those deals like y'all were talking about. Like, we just kind of pick a lake and go fishing and figure it out that day.
Yep.
I think that's it. But y'all guys, I know y'all guys are really good at that. I like having a home to go to. I like my couch, and I haven't found that couch at this place for sure.
That makes a lot of sense because I mean, I don't think you can.
I definitely ain't found a couch out here.
So I found a rusty lawn chair outside and it's caved in.
All the springs is wore out. Well, it's going to be interesting, but I promise you somebody's going to catch them and they're going to show us how it was.
Every time.
I mean,
What's winning weight?
I still think it's going to be 70-ish,
I
plus
said
or minus 2
yep.
pounds.
I'm right there with you. I said 70, and then I was thinking like 72, and then it could be 68 because we said 17 a day. We were thinking,
Yeah,
and that's like
somebody's
60.
going to have that like 25 to 30 pound bag.
Yep.
And then the next day might follow it up with 12 pounds.
Yep.
You know,
if you're lucky, 12 pounds.
I mean, literally.
you know, it's
So-
Florida. They move that much.
Yes.
Every time, even if they were biting like good, and you had all the shell, and there was so much grass out there, they move so much. I mean,
I'm still seeing some of our guys plumb up on the bank looking at them, too.
you can.
It's scary.
Why that scary?
Because I'm not going. I don't want it to be the deal.
Oh, you're killing me. I thought you said the grass was cleaning it up there.
It is cleaner up there. If I can see them, it's clean, guys, because I have the finest eyes in town. But they are somewhere.
You got to hit over the trolling motor, bro. That was a bass.
Buddy puts his readers on to go sight fishing.
Readers and the polarized.
Hey, look here. Let me check you, boys.
That was about 4.5.
Oh, that's who I was talking to. He thought it was David Mullins and David Williams up here. He didn't know what was going on.
That's not funny, guys.
We're just messing with
Hey, I hear there is a good surgeon for eyes down here. I might go see him before we get out of Florida because it's
He's
getting
going to
bad.
hit some lacy before we get out.
He goes to St. Johnson, wins at sight fishing.
Hey, it gets better. I'm looking at my side image in here, and I'm like, dang, I can't tell if that's a fish. I was like, oh, let me put my glass on. Holy cow, it's like the screen got twice as big. And the
It's
fish
like
got bigger.
that was the mother load.
I think that's my problem last year. I think I was missing them all year because I didn't wear no glasses.
No wonder you're not any good at live scopes.
So if we need to mess with Buddy, we'll just take his glass.
I'm gonna have to buy me one of those 24-inch screens if I keep going.
Those things do look good.
Man,
That's a big old screen.
That is a big screen.
I
feel
really
like I'd have to turn my head to follow you
To see the whole-
like,
Yeah, you focus on this side back. I'm just looking 10 feet, and then
I got started in this game so late, guys. I think I'm gonna have to be like Bill Danson, put a sit-down chair up there, and I'm gonna hang in there.
straight up David Fritz style.
Look, that bird's trying to tell me there's a shad spawn going somewhere right now.
That Shad's bone, it could light up after this weather. I don't know.
he's lonely. He wish he had under this patio that we're taking.
He's gonna come
He's
check
getting
us out.
wet.
I really think we're in this little lull before this front gets here.
I think so, too.
Because we've still not got the hard stuff yet. It's coming
Yeah.
though.
Have you checked the radar lately?
No,
Yeah.
I want
You did?
my phone.
Checked it before we got here, and it's like, this ain't even it yet.
Yeah, my
We're getting
phone's going off like it might be real close. Like I got alerts going off.
Yeah. Oh, this is thrilling stuff. Watching Patrick
I know.
scroll through.
I actually was about to
Instagram.
check a text message.
He was about his Snapchat.
I was not on Snapchat.
I don't even know what Snapchat is. So I had my daughter just caught her on it one day. Oh, look at there. We're right.
Yeah, we're
about to get
in
it.
the red. That is not good.
Yeah, that ain't looking good.
It should be a good afternoon. That's why I really think for the rest of the week we're going to have great weather.
I don't see anything changing. Like, I think it's going to be so consistent. I really think there's somebody's. I think there's going to be a group of guys that have figured something out.
You think so?
And I think they're going to separate themselves. We got to stay close during the week,
Yep.
or we're going to be in trouble. But
What you think St. John's is going to be like?
I'm thinking. We've been to St. John's every year but one since I've been on the lake.
Yep,
I think.
5 years.
So I've never been there when there wasn't a spawn going on.
I know.
And I'm not a spawn fishing guy, but I think if I've made the third day every time, I think.
Good.
But I think I've weighed 10 spawners in every time, at least.
Are you
So,
serious?
I'm serious. So I really have a hard time catching them any other way.
I told him, this is funny. I literally said, man, it feels weird being in Florida and they're not spawning. He said, I told him, I said, I'm so used to being down here when they're doing nothing but spawning. He said, Patrick, you hate spawners. He said, every time you come, you don't even fish for them spawning. I said, I know, but I at least want to know where they're at.
At St. John's, about had to, though.
You had to.
I mean, unless that Rodman deal popped off, but it never popped off for me.
I think it's still going to be good, though. I think with it being a tidal fishery, we're in April. It's been a warm year, but I think we'll still have a
I feel
good
like
time.
we always see like the glimpses of that shell bed deal. I think we're gonna see a lot of that.
I hope you
Them
do.
fish.
That would be nice.
I wish we had that extra day we're losing here, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 2 days of practice is not going to be ideal, but it's
That's a big body of water to cover in 2 days.
Huge body of water.
what is
Hey,
the?
this deal right here, you don't think about it, this deal right here covers a lot of ground.
This place is huge.
When you start trying to hit every lake.
Did you fish every lake this week?
No, I missed two. I didn't go to Popco or Griffin because I didn't.
I only missed a Popka.
Yeah.
But I tried all of them. I mean, and that's a lot of water to cover. Here
lot.
comes that band now.
Yeah, it's starting to get here now.
Yep.
Can't see
But
across the
the
lake.
2 days there, because I mean, I don't know what the distance is from Jacksonville to the 44 bridge down there south of Astor. That's a poke.
That's a
That's
poke.
100 miles plus.
And you could go even further the other way.
Yeah, you can go.
I mean-
Jacksonville. That's what I'm saying. Way.
Oh,
not
yeah,
Black.
sorry.
If you go past Jacksonville, son, you were getting out.
Yeah, just keep on going to the ocean.
I'm gonna go catch me a king mackerel out there. Like I'm like, oh,
I'm only
redfish
gonna
on
have
the
one, but
jetties.
it's gonna count.
If we could weigh redfish in, I think we have a better chance.
Oh, that would be a time.
That would be fun.
Hey, we might be able to sign a petition. Let us weigh some spot tails in.
Oh my gosh.
What you thinking, Bowman?
I'm still kind of curious about how this is going to impact. Obviously, you're talking about spawners. We had a blue heron walk up in here, and once you mentioned spawners, he went to the bank. So
Yeah, there is definitely a shad spawn going on. A lot of the guys, I mean, like it was like a choo-choo train riding around the lakes. Everybody looking for the shad spawn for the first 2 days, and I know it's happening. I've seen a lot smaller.
That's the
shad.
I think that's
Very
the
small shad.
That small shad just didn't seem to have the fish on it we were looking for. I mean, there were some small fish around it, but I just never found what I call a good shad spawn.
I agree with that.
That
I found
bass
one the
feed.
first day. First thing I stopped on, and they were good sized shad, but didn't catch any bass on. I think it was too dirty. And I mean, other than that, it's almost like minnows.
Yeah,
It's super small stuff.
yeah.
Are they shad though? Have you?
I haven't got. I mean, no, I don't know that to be a fact.
That's
but-
what I thought they were shad because they were spawning and the birds were eating them, but I just couldn't tell.
And there's I seen some actually fish eating in the shad spawn the other day, and I could not catch them. So I'm going with more
Keyed
like
in.
stripe or something. But I'm telling a little bit. But I've been playing with those little scope a little bit. I mean, I see a big old scope look like stripe, like small stripers or yellow.
Oh, there's stripers in here.
I don't.
White bass?
That's what I was fixing to say. That's what they look like, but they turned into be little old
Send us them
bass. They're
coordinates.
largemouth.
So yeah, we'll check that dive for you. They're stripers.
Well, I'll tell you where they're at. They're right over there.
Easy.
They're on the south end of Griffin, as far as you can go back in the swamp. Just kidding.
All right.
I was like, there's a swamp we need to go to. I was like, you said swamp. I was like, I was.
Well, it
keyed
don't
up.
have as many. It don't have as many trees in it as you're used to.
Okay, I was like, you said swamp. I was like, now we're talking.
You got a troll motor only back there, remember?
Do you?
Yeah.
That's a long time.
You can only troll a motor out of Yale Canal.
The shad spawn will be over by the time you troll the motor in.
That's another thing. The shad spawn deal, if you're going out
If you're
of,
locking out, you
you're
ain't got
done
time.
on
Yep.
that. I mean, like, unless you get a really good shady bank, and in Florida, in time we start at 7, everything got sun on it.
It does.
So,
Well, it was dark this morning at 7. When we were going fishing this morning, it
It
was
was also trying to rain. So.
exactly.
Yeah, I know it's 6:45, but it was like we wouldn't blast off. I think at 7 this morning, so we'd have had a delay.
Yep.
And then I mean, when you were delaying, and then you had to come through this, it would not have been good.
I left my Sam's jacket at home, boys.
Yeah, you're getting wet.
bow up.
Last question. Each one of you, who's going to win this tournament? I mean, you got to pick one.
Oh, that's a
Fantasy
tough one.
team stuff. I'll give you two. Two guys that you got to have on your fantasy team. And this tournament, y'all just explained to be
John Cox is my first pick. I'm going to go with John. John's lethal in Florida no matter what. He's great at shallow water. He's going to make the shallow water work. He's going to commit to that one thing. He's not going to, like, I'm not speaking for me and you. Me and you go back and forth a lot. Like, we'll go deep, we'll go shallow, and that's good for a lot of times for us. So that could be how we find him. But somebody who I think sticks with one thing, like Buddy. Buddy, I think, is going to be dangerous as well this week because Buddy's going to stick to his guns. And so I think somebody who sticks to their guns will find them eventually. So I'm going to go with John.
I'm going to throw in one of the rookies, John Garrett. Let's go with John. One of those guys that's been here several times. You know, they were just here this last fall.
I can see that.
You know, they put in a lot of time on this lake. They found a lot of that offshore stuff. I feel like one of those guys is going to hit it, be able to stay with
I've seen
them.
several of those guys on some juice. Like,
Really?
kind of made me cringe. But I've seen them doing their homework. But a lot of them boys have been idling, looking, digging hard. But I've seen a lot of those guys on stuff that took me a long time to find. I can tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, they've had a lot of time here just recently, and then, you know, they're going to commit to that offshore.
Yep.
You know, I've been out there a bunch, and there are some schools out there, and there are some big schools out there, but there are a lot of little fish involved. So I'm going with a guy that I got. My mind keeps going to Hackney just because he can move so fast and change up, and he sees a little bit of a deal. I think Hackney has a real good chance, but I think it's going to be somebody who puts a lot of stuff in play. It won't be one thing. It's going to be a lot of things, and it can be on 3 different lakes because you can hit 3 lakes, but leave here and hit 3 on the way back and on the way too. So it's going to need a little bit of a morning bite. It's going to have to be somebody that's got a day bite, and somebody can catch one on the way back in, and this really helps them.
What about the guy that doesn't have any of that?
I better start finding some bites because I ain't got any of that yet.
I ain't got morning, day, or afternoon.
But I think that's the guy that's got the. I think I'm more scared of that guy than the guy that thinks he knows where he's going and is going to catch him. I'm more scared of the guy that don't know because that's the guy that's moving.
Yeah, if you had a spot like this and you were like, man, I got to get that spot. If I don't get there, I'm not going to catch him probably. I wouldn't feel that good because this weather just changed everything.
It did.
And then also with boat pressure, there's a good chance somebody's going to be on it. So it's just like, yeah. I'm
And we got a lot. And
I wish I did have somewhere to go, but
I don't know if y'all noticed, but every day there's a tournament on this lake too. I mean, there's a tournament, weekend tournament. So you know, we got locals to deal with, guide boats to deal with. I mean, it's
a lot.
They help us out. They give us room, but there'll still be some kind of adversity in this deal, and whoever
100%.
overcomes those adversities is going to be the winner.
Yeah, me and Patrick fished that Tuesday nighter over here. It was pretty good.
That's
Good
awesome.
crowd. We got third.
Cool.
Yeah.
How much weight did you have?
We didn't
7.5.
We didn't fish no tournament. And we almost won it.
That's awesome.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
Y'all better clarify that real quick.
We did not fish a Tuesday night tournament.
Yeah.
I did see one going on though.
Did you?
There's a weigh-in. I don't know if it was Monday night, Tuesday night, but there was a weigh-in at Buzzer Beach
Which? Oh, yeah.
over at Eustis.
Oh, Eustace.
But this thing can show out. I hope it does with our guys.
I hope so, too.
I hope somebody here gets to show what kind of lake this really is because this is a great place to come. Everything's so close. Restaurants are close. Lakes are close. And we got good lakes to fish when it's off days like y'all did today.
Yeah,
So
I know.
It's a great place.
That's what's so cool. You can just hop around to any different lake, and they all have giants. So,
And what's
anywhere
weird is
in
it might
Central
take us an
Florida.
hour to get there by boat, but we can do it in a pickup truck in about 3.5 minutes.
Everywhere you go is 24 minutes. I don't care if you're heading to a Popka. I don't care if you're heading to the local restaurant. I don't care if you're heading to the boat landing. It's perfect. It's like 24 minutes max drive.
Leave
Everything's
30
close.
minutes and you got time to get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right.
Great stuff. Justin and Patrick, take us out.
Like a duet.
Oh, I'll sing if you want me to.
We're done with life.
But it's good to be here in Florida. Stop number 3, Harris Chain. We're in Leesburg, Florida. I think we're going to have a good tournament. We had some weather today. We had a little bit delay. We postponed, but we're going to have a Championship Monday. Championship Monday always shows out. So we're happy to be here in Florida.
Absolutely. We're going to have some fish catches, and it's going to be a bunch of different ways. So
You're on live tomorrow.
I'm on live
so
tomorrow.
Make sure y'all tune in to Bassmaster.com.
Yeah.
Watch Bass Live.
Hey.
FS1. I don't know if we're on FS1 or not, but he's going to be on live. The classic
Cool.
champ. He's
say
going
it again.
The Bassmaster.
I'd put it in the boat with me if I was
Bassmaster
Carry it around. Hey, I might not have caught nothing today, but look at my trophy.
Your camera guy's got to ride on the cooler because you got the trophy strapped in the chair.
I got it buckled in.
Buckled it in. We'll put a seatbelt in there.
That is awesome.
He's riding heavy tomorrow, so
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes.
It'd be fun.
Oh, absolutely. Thank y'all